Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Lunch Talk with the Carters. I am your hostess, Star Carter.
And I am your host, Michael Carter.
And we just come to tell you all that it is time to get the show started. What's up, guys? It is Friday. We have come to the end of another work week. So how you doing today, Mr. Carter?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing wonderful now. You know, it's Friday, the weekend finna start, work week over.
All right, that's what's up. That is what's up. So, guys, make sure that you are checking out the Lunch Talk with the Carters couples line. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/lunchtalkshow/shop, and you can check out our King and Queen collection. And guess what, guys? Starting yesterday, I put a promo code on the site. So if you go and spend at least $30 in merchandise on our site and use the code LUNCH5, that's LUNCH5, when you check out, you'll get $5 off of your purchase. All right. So yeah, we're giving out discounts. So that'll go on to next Thursday. If you want to check out the Lunch Talk with the Carters couples line, King and Queen collection, now is your chance to save $5 on 30 or more. So that means if you go in there and you see something that you like, which the prices range between $15.99 and $30, I think $29.99 might be the highest item. So that means you can get some really good stuff. For the low. I mean, we got a King and Queen t-shirt that's only $15.99. So guys, go in there and check it out. All right. So today we got another juicy topic for you. So what you want to talk about today, Mr. Carter?
Well, today we're gonna backtrack, so to speak. Okay. You know, Let's Talk with the Carters is a relationships podcast. Okay. And we've been giving you guys a lot of good advice, so to say advice, or a lot of good ideas on how to deal with a lot of issues. But we're going to backtrack a little bit today. What does a relationship mean to you? Now, that should have been the question we asked a long time ago, because of all the advice we gave you. We need to know, what does being in a relationship mean to you? If you're engaged, or if you're dating or married or whatever, what does that entitlement or being in a committed relationship mean to you? Okay, well, let me give you a few examples on that. Okay, first off, let's start by saying, okay, some people could be in relationships and for the wrong reasons. Okay, now that could be a rip in your relationship right off the get-go. We always talk about relationships, but if that's a question you ask in the beginning, what, does being in a relationship mean to you? That could take away a lot of problems that, could occur in the future. So one of those examples are, okay, if you're in a relationship for stability or comfort, or you could be in a relationship for low self-esteem. By meaning low self-esteem is you're settling for this person. Okay. Or maybe, being in a relationship for you means, the old school values. Are you controlling, or do you want to be that person in charge? What I mean by in charge is like the one that takes the lead in everything. The old school values, you might have your wife at home taking care of the kids, taking care of the household while you out bringing home the bread. But if your mate doesn't feel that way about the relationship, that could be a little rip in your relationship. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I mean, you don't ever want to be, to me, when you say, you want to establish what a relationship means to you, to me, it's just basically saying you don't want to be in a relationship with someone and you don't actually know where they stand at in the relationship, because it's really jacked up when you be in a relationship and y'all are not on the same page as far as where you want the relationship to go. And that can happen, like you said, especially in the beginning. You got to set those rules, as I would say. Are you casually dating? Because a lot of times, I'm just going to put this out there, women. Us women, we will go into a relationship with a guy and automatically put them in a boyfriend category, potential husband category, and all those kind of things. And we may see them in that light. We may see them as a long-term thing, and they might not even be looking at us that way. They may just be looking at us as a casual date, or I'm dating, I'm not looking to settle down. And then you don't find that out to the end, or after you slept with them, God forbid, but after you slept with them or whatever, and then you find out that I'm not looking for you to be my girlfriend. Well, I don't see you in that eye, or I'm not trying to get married, or that's not, I'm still too young, or I've already been in a relationship for a long term and that's not what I'm looking for. And then you're crushed, but you probably never ever sat down and had a conversation with the person to find out if that's really what they wanted before you invested heavy emotions in it, and I know a lot of us women, we do that. We invest our emotions in it way too soon before you even establish if that is where this guy is even want to go with you. You assume that just because they are doing certain things that it automatically equates to them wanting to have a relationship with you. But that's not true.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a conversation that you have to have because you could be on different pages.
The totally different pages. That's why we were saying, we're a relationship podcast. So we're taking it back a little bit. What does being in a relationship mean to you really? Okay. Some people, like I said, a couple of examples in the beginning, are you in it for stability or comfort? Like if you're with a guy or a female, whichever, because times have changed, guys, females are bringing in the bread now. So if you're in a relationship for comfort and stability or financial stability, and that's all you're looking for. And this person, your mate, is looking for a real, honest to goodness relationship. See, now that's going to be a turmoil. That's going to be a turmoil there. Or in the other case I gave, if you're in a relationship and you got old school values, okay, I'm a guy. I want my wife to stay home. I don't want her to work. I want her to take care of the kids, take care of the household. I do all the work and bring home the money. Now, if you got a career goal oriented lady, that's not going to fly with her. And now you guys got a rip there too. So always find out, what goals, plans, or what their idea of a relationship is. So you guys can compromise or come to some kind of mutual agreement, so you can move forward positively.
Or either y'all might not even be suited for each other.
I mean, exactly. If you guys are that different, if you guys are that different, what a relationship means to you, you're right. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe that person is not for you.
I mean, cause if if you're looking to get married one day and this person has already said, well, they may have already been married. Like, I ain't getting married ever again. That might be really how they feel. And you may be wasting your time. I don't want you to have this type of mentality. Well, I can change that. I can change it. Just depending on, the person. Usually if somebody says something like that major, I would take their word for it.
Yeah.
Because then you'll be wasting years and years. And then next thing 5 years done went by and no sign of a ring and, in sight. And then you be like, you're not going to ask me to marry you, or you're going to go through that whole emotional thing. He's like, well, I told you when we got together, I ain't want to get married.
Yeah. So,
it's things like that. Cause a lot of times we want to be the savior of people and we want to change people. They already tell you, people will show you their true self way before you get to the emotional hurt of it. So if you get to, people will show you how they really are. So you don't have to get that far. Those are conversations that you should have early on. Like me and my husband, a lot of people might have thought, well, we got married quick because we were only back together like 6 months, but we had a conversation. We weren't dating just to be dating. We already knew each other for 20 years, and we had dated before. So it wasn't like we had just met each other or something, we already
both wanted.
Yeah. We knew each other. Like I said, I've been knowing him since I was 18. And so it was like, that was something that we both wanted, but we had a conversation about it. We had a conversation. We talked about every single thing about it. So we knew that, we could date for another year or two. We could, or we could be spending that time being married because that's the ultimate goal anyway. Cause we knew that we did not want to be with anybody else. We already had came to that conclusion and we know that we have always made each other happy. So that's why we just went ahead and did it. But like I said, that was because we had a conversation. I knew that Michael wanted to get married again, even though it made both of our second marriages, but Mike could have been like, I don't want to get married again. Mm-hmm. And I could have been the same way. I could have been the same way. So with that being said, you have to have these conversations. You got to.
Yeah, exactly. And now let's just take it a step further. Okay. One, if you do get into the marriage thing and you do decide to take each other for better or for worse. Okay. And you didn't have this conversation. Now, just assume for the sake of assumption that you have a controlling guy. Now he's married to you, right? He's married. Now he feels that certain things he's entitled to. Okay. Mm-hmm. Certain things that should be done no matter the situation. You know, what made me say that is true story, guys. I'm not calling any name, but true story. I had a female tell me that her husband said that she wanted him to sleep with her, even though if she wasn't in the mood, she was tired, but he said, I'm your husband and that's your duty. Now, if you guys would have had a conversation about this, you would have known that this guy feels that his wife is obligated to do certain duties.
I was married to somebody like that.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now, if y'all would have had this conversation.
My first marriage was like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you would have had this conversation, you would know who you're getting involved with. Okay. And to take it a step further, you know, they feel that they are entitled to things and they own you. You are a possession. Mm-hmm. Okay. You are a possession. Now that we are married, you're a possession. And guys, I'm not a bad guy, but when you get into a relationship, is it a form of ownership? Now, let me finish. The reason I'm saying that, because when you're in a relationship, a good relationship that you're comfortable with, the first thing a man or a woman would say is, that's my woman. That's my man. That's my wife. That's my husband. Mm-hmm. Isn't that a form of ownership?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. When you are married and you're in that committed, relationship that you went before God, your family, and whoever else, you know, you saying that you're going to be committed to that person. So it's more or less not a ownership, more so than a commitment that you made in front of God.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
So if you take those vows as a commitment and not an ownership, not like you're a piece of property, you know, that marriage license doesn't mean that you have a deed and a title on me, or I have a deed and a title on you. Those marriage license is a form of a higher level of commitment. To me, I think it's commitment license to say that I will honor you. I will respect you. I will put you before all others, and I will do this until I die. Regardless if you're sick, regardless if you're poor, I saying that I'm in it for the long haul with you. That's what that means to me. That doesn't mean that if I'm sick and you're horny, excuse my expression, I'm going to feel like you're going to come up and be like, you better give me some, or I'm your husband, you better get, I've been there. I've been through a relationship like that. And I'm going to tell you guys, I don't think it was a conversation that could have took place and I still would have known that would have happened, because that person was just like that.
Well, I mean,
you know,
in a way,
I don't think it was a conversation because he was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a conversation. And that's another show, because he really did. I mean, me saying crazy, that might sound like I was being funny, but no, he had a mental disability for real. So I don't think that even if I had said it in a way, even if I said, had a conversation, I don't know who I would have been talking to if I had a conversation with him and asked him, okay, so how do you look at marriage? Do you look at marriage as a loving commitment, or do you look at it as ownership? He could have told me, no, I look at it as a loving, commitment at the time. But knowing what I dealt with later on, that could have changed, just because, like I said, it's a whole nother show, who he was and his mentality. So if you're dealing with somebody that's sane, that you can have an actual real conversation with, then yeah, you can get some real truths, but you just got to know who you're dealing with, because people are manipulative. You know what I'm saying? People are manipulative. They can paint a pretty picture and make it seem like, the grass is real green on their side of the fence, until they get you on that side and then a whole nother person show up. So that happens.
Yeah, it does. But I take that as it all depends on how gullible you are. Me, I don't believe nothing until stuff happens. Simple. You can tell me what you want. I don't care about all that, because to me, that's lip battling. I don't care. I'm not that gullible. I don't believe what people say until it's shown. Okay. I can tell if you're a controlling person. I can tell that, and it doesn't take us getting married or whatever for me to figure that out. It's just your demeanor. It's how you handle situations. It's how we have a conversation. You can tell if a person is controlling, or if a person feels that, that you are property, or whatever the case may be. if they tell you something in a conversation, why are you talking while men talking? That's a red flag right there. Mm-hmm. That's letting you know he might not come out and say it, or he might tell you, oh, honey, I'm not controlling, or I'm not old school. I don't have those old, family values that a man is in charge and blah, blah, blah. But he just gave you a hint. He gonna sit there and tell you, why are you talking while men talking, or something like that. I feel that people show you themselves not just by what they say, but by what they do as well, or their demeanor. You have to pay attention to a lot of things like that. And, the conversations, like she said, there's a valid point. It's for rational people, but it's up to you to pick out the crazy. You got to pick out the crazy. You got to pick it out just by their actions or their demeanor or how they handle certain situations.
Oh yeah, guys. So if you guys want to comment on this show about what relationships mean to you, why don't you hit us up at lunchtalkshow@gmail.com, and in the subject line you can put what relationships mean to me, and just give us your feedback on this show, and just let us know how do you take this topic, because it is a serious topic though, because you do got to know the type of people that you're dealing with, especially before you make that major commitment, going as far as getting married to somebody, because you don't want to, find out something totally different after you've made these major commitments. And especially at the beginning stages, you don't want to be with someone that you think that is going to go the next step, and really they're not even on that same level with you. So you just got to make sure that the path that you're going is also the path that they see themselves going as well. Wouldn't you agree, babe?
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point, and that's the whole reason of the show, guys. Knowing, your person's goals, knowing the direction they feel that a relationship should go, or what is their idea of a relationship. You got to know this information, because if you don't, you guys could be heading in the wrong direction or separate directions. And in the beginning, you're destined for failure, because you guys are heading so far apart. This guy could be thinking one thing and you could be thinking another thing, where a relationship is about. So that was a valid point.
All right. So you got anything else you want to say before I run the credits, babe?
Nah, that'll do it.
All right. So this was another great juicy topic. We do appreciate you, as always, tuning in to Lunch Talk with the Carters. Make sure you're checking us out on the Radio Public app, because when you listen to our show on Radio Public, you are supporting Lunch Talk with the Carters show. And guys, make sure that you check us out on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and a whole bunch of others that you can just Google us up if you're not already listening to us on your favorite devices. And guys, make sure we do have a little promo going on. So if you want to check out Lunch Talk with the Couples apparel, just use our code LUNCH5. That's LUNCH5. And like I said, just go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/lunchtalkshow/shop, if you want to go and check out our merchandise. All right, babe. That's it.
All right.
Peace.